when the luxury buildings move in and like, all that kind of stuff, then most of the places that people used to shop and do stuff.
Yeah, because we don't.
And she's a fighter, you know.
Uh,
Hope you don't mind me with my sunglasses because light bothers my eyes.
oh, sure. Yeah, that's a lot of light.
No, not any light. I've been wearing sunglasses now for about 40 something years. Because the outside light, the sunlight, all that always bothers my eyes.
So can you say and spell your name for me?
Edward Tyree. You want me to spell the first? EDWARDTYRE.
And you're.
I'm the president for Gwanda's Resident Association.
That's right. Cool. And let's see, if you look at me, I just want to get the glare now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you try to look at me, then that'll keep it from getting
Right.
reflections and all that. All right, so just give me what you're talking about. When when the gentrification happens, it's not really going to do any good for anybody that's already there. Keep pushing this wrong button. All right, yeah. So what were you saying? Tell me about how do you feel when you find out there's going to be new luxury housing coming in near your building?
Well, to me, I don't say anything positive about it because not just in my neighborhood, in every neighborhood.
Well, could you say instead of it gentrification?
Oh.
That way I can cut it. Go ahead.
Okay, let me see. I get my thought.
Yeah.
Oh, gentrification. I got to find a different word because I have a problem saying that word.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't like
Oh,
that.
luxury buildings.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. All right, I'll say with that. When luxury buildings come into not just my community, all the communities that I know of, it has a history of taking from, not bringing to. So the community doesn't benefit. The only body benefit is the people who are coming in with the luxury buildings, and the people that live in the area, they're the ones that lose vital, things like stores, Chinese restaurants, laundromats, a whole bunch, and then now there are other buildings. And they're not necessarily the part of the development, but they're still our neighbors and they're still part of their community. And they wind up moving out or getting pushed or forced out for the people that come into luxury people that come in to build these luxury buildings. And what happens is, again, only by the benefit of the people who are coming in to build the buildings, not the people from the community. And as a matter of fact, it becomes no longer a community. It becomes an area of luxury buildings. And there's people forget the human factor that's involved. They look at just the business side of, their particular gains, their personal gains, not the losses of the residents or the community itself that's they're coming into.
Yeah, it's funny they say bringing in a luxury building will make the neighborhood better, but not for it makes the neighborhood worse for the people there. But can we try and talk about the kinds of amenities like parking, stores, check cashing places, anything like that that turns over, and how much what that does for people?
Well, it puts people at a disadvantage because in my community alone, in order for you to find parking, people don't even move their cars a lot of times because it takes 2 or 3 hours to find parking when you do move, because all of this extra people coming from all these extra buildings that's being developed in the area, they find parking a lot of times. They might have a building that they built 3 or 4 blocks away, but they come down to our neighborhoods and take up our parking spots as well as the parking spots in their particular area. And as far as the check cashing places and things of those natures, in most cases, they're gone. So you have to find time to find one that's close enough for you to get to and convenient enough for you to, when you get there so that it's worthwhile even going to these places. And me, myself, a lot of times when I go shopping, sometimes I go out to Long Island to Walmart's because sometimes you can't get in this place. There's too much traffic over there. And I'm not the only one. I see some of my neighbors up there as well, too. And that's a shame.
Name the kind of stores or restaurants that that are new that you don't have any use for?
Actually, we don't. They don't replace them with anything. They just put buildings there, so there's nothing really new that you can point at where you could say, "Well, they made this for them or that for them." They put a building there, and that's it. I mean, they don't replace it with another store or another drugstore or another check cashing place. What they do once they come in, they build their buildings. That's all that goes. Their buildings.
Oh, you know what I have seen a lot of people talk about is like there never used to be. There's like one or two bars, and now there's like bars everywhere.
Well, we have that situation like, all right, like on Smith Street. Let me see, in maybe about 2 or 3 blocks, you probably got about 6 or 7 bars or in 2 or 3 block area. Other than that, the only really thing that we have is what is that? Rite Aids and I forgot the coffee place again.
Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is pretty much gone. We don't. We have a drugstore there too, but I'm just saying that a lot of the stuff that we used to have there that made it convenient for us, most of those old things are gone. That's the whole thing. Most of those things are gone. And all the things that made the community, made it convenient for the community, all of those things are gone, or the majority of them are gone though.
Last things, can you mention we lost a whole lot of laundromats recently and a bunch of drugstores.
Well, yeah, we have lost laundromats, drugstores. We got like 1.99 cent store, and we got another guy, a guy that used to live in the neighborhood. He bought on his own. He took up over a space and got a what do you call that? He got a little store over there as well too. But other than that, this is something that's not from the outside. This came from somebody that used to live in the neighborhood, and he brought something back to the neighborhood. And it's good that he's done that there, and the people are responding because it makes it more convenient for them because we lost. I forgot what you call a store. I hate when I go blank like that. A store we can buy like merchandise like blinds and tools and things. Hardware store. There you go. I just went blank. And we lost one on Smith Street, and now we got one that's even closer to the development. And the only reason why we got it is because the gentleman that put that there, he used to live in the development. So it wasn't the developers that gave us; it was a former resident that gave that back to us.
Can you just give me the line with the hardware store that we lost the hardware store in the neighborhood, but then someone opened one? Just because you didn't say hardware store.
Oh, yeah, we lost the hardware store on Smith Street, and we gained the hardware store on Barn and Barn and Butler Street, and that came from not the developer, it came from a former resident from the neighborhood, and it's made it very convenient because this one is right across the street from the neighborhood, from the development, and people in development appreciate and they do shop there.
Great. Thank you very much.
You got to excuse me for stumbling. Like I said, I wasn't ready, and I started blanking out.
Oh yeah.
I have nothing. They took away they took away the laundry, they took away the Chinese restaurant over there, they took away the store over there, and they took away the 99-cent store across the street. That's going now too. So, and then if they take away the key food, we're gonna have to be going all the way, I guess all the way, well, shop and stop, but that's far. You have a lot of elderly people can't get around too good, And like we need like we need like a nice little restaurant. We need a fish market. But I know they couldn't do that. And what else? Like a pharmacy close by, a laundromat. You gotta walk so far now. They just took 2 or 3 away, laundromats now. So we really don't have nothing over there. Where we are is really nothing. You gotta go so far for different things, And seem like to me, every place you go, they're building co-ops. That's all what they're doing. And I guess this little 99-cent store, they probably gonna put a little co-op there too. Now on Warren Street and 4th Avenue, what are they building there? What are they gonna put there? A co-op? First they said it was gonna build a McDonald's, right? So what happened with that? I don't know. So it's still there, but so now they said they're gonna I guess they're waiting for the development. They don't know what they want to do with that because that's been standing there, a good while. Um,
Talk
but
about the pharmacies, because there was the one on Third and there was the Walgreens, right?
well, the one on Third Avenue, he been there for years. Cause I used to live around on Bergen Street for 60 years, and that pharmacy was there a long time. So now I guess you got to go up to Fifth Avenue or Targets or, you know, different places. But like for elderly people, it's hard for them to get around. We need stuff close by where we can just, go to. You got to take a bus where you're going, and a lot of the elder people they take Cesar rides, the buses, to get where you're going, to get what you want, you know. But it's bad. They're building co-ops, but not for us. They're just building where they can make money. That's the whole idea.
I'm noticing on Fifth Ave where there was a bunch of places like a furniture store, a bodega, and a fruit stand, stuff like that. It's all bars.
Yep. Now I'm gonna ask you something. On Fifth, what is it? Is it Fifth Avenue? Fifth Avenue have a lot of stuff. How come on Fourth Avenue they have so many bars, the little mini bars, when they could have had a restaurant there? Now they took away the locksmith. He said the rent was too high, and he been there a long time. Because where I used to live on Bergen Street over 60 years. Now where I'm living now, I've been there 42 years. And I've seen things change. It's changing, really changing. So we really don't have nothing really.
What are some of the kind of stores, some of the kind of places that you have no use for?
That we want?
That you don't. What are the kind of things that have moved in that
Oh, co-ops. More co-ops. That's the problem. See, all the little space, every little space they have, they're going to build a co-op or a condo or whatever they're going to build. They don't think about building like a restaurant. We don't have nothing around there. Restaurant, you got to go far for that. Laundromat, you got to go all the way in the boondocks somewhere. And we really like a fish market around where we are. And like say now with the key food, they're supposed to be I don't understand it. What's the sense of taking down that one and putting a little one there? Dude, that don't make sense to me. And then they're gonna put little stores there, like little boutiques. Them little stores don't have what people really want to buy, and little restaurants. Now the little key food that they're gonna put there, that's gonna be a mini key food or what? That, to me, it don't make sense. They should just leave well enough alone and leave what they have there. But it's all about the money making. That's all what it is. Everything is money. So doctors, lawyer, everything. When you die, that's the same thing. That's the first thing they ask you for. What kind of insurance you have? But we really need a lot of stuff around where we are. So,
what about with the rezoning of the Gowanus? What kind of thing? What would you like to tell the city you need to be figured into the rules for the rezoning?
What you mean, like rezoning the area where we are? Because we're zone 6. Am I correct? I think we are zone 6.
Yeah, the whole area by the Gowanus is about to be rezoned, so it can be different kinds.
So now with the Gowanus, have they started building houses over there too, down in the Gowanus Canal? Over there where the Gowanus Canal, they said they was going to build houses on top of it, I guess, whatever they're going to do.
Well, I think they built Lightstone. They built some places, some big buildings.
Yeah, because you know what? See, now, that Gowanus Canal been there so long, And all of a sudden now they decided to clean it up. They should have cleaned it up way, way, way back, And now they're just starting, going back maybe a year or maybe 2 years. They're just starting that. But that's been there because I know I've been in the 572. I moved there in 1972, and I used to have floods. Oh my God, I could write a story. And now that I guess that had a lot to do with the sewers, with the Gowanus Canal. But see, I had to get on housing because they weren't doing their job either. They would never send a jet truck what cleans out the sewer down in the down in the Cabone and stuff, and people throw rice and grease, which they're not supposed to do that, and that's what backs up the stuff. So every 6 months, Houghton's supposed to have cleaned it up, you know. But then after, I guess with this Gowanus Canal where they was doing, I guess that had a lot to do with it too, with the sewers. Because right now on Warren and Third, that sewer smells. It got a terrible smell over there. Why don't they clean it up?
Yeah. Can you do me a favor and say and spell your name so I get it right?
Oh, my name is Harriet. Harriet Hughes. HARRIET HUGHES. Harriet Hughes.
And can you say Brick TV has permission to use this footage?
Huh?
Oh, Brick TV has permission to use this footage?
Oh, I have to say that?
Yeah, that way I have it for the...
Okay, a Brick TV to be...
Oh, has permission to use.
Oh, has permission to use. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, that'll be good because it's a good story about,
Yeah, they need to stop building all these co-ops. I'm sorry. That's too much. Every place you go, downtown, co-ops. Everything is co-op. It seems like where we are, I guess everything will be co-ops. In the years to come. Everything. Now, okay, when they say with the key food, they're gonna build a mini, right? Mini key food. Now, housing is gonna be affordable houses. When they say affordable, what they mean by affordable? That ain't no affordable. Because right now, over there in Waco, where they're going to build those two buildings, that's not affordable either. That's going to be for doctor, lawyers, and it's probably already before the ground is broke. They're probably going to have who they're going to put in there. See, they do things, and you don't know what they be doing. Things has already been done, but then they just want to, I guess, talk about it or whatnot, But that's the way it is, Co-ops. On 5th Avenue, it's beautiful up there. Going up there by 7th Avenue, now they have a lot of stuff. They have like delis, restaurants. They got a fish market. They got a nail salon. They have the laundry. Everything they have. Up to 7th is beautiful. Because, see, when I take the Cessa ride, I be going up that way, Everything you want is there. But down where we are, is nothing there, really. Because you got to go so far, where you got to go or what you got to do. So that's that.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, But it's true. Everything is co-ops.
Nature cannot or does not regulate the heat.
Oh.
And in the Sandy affected buildings, we're still on external boilers.
Uh-huh.
So that means that it's not really hooked up to a thermostat that's attached to the building.
Uh-huh.
And what happens is they have one roving team that has to concentrate on this whole area of Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
And it's not enough people on the ground to really be there to actually in real time know what the building's feeling like. I don't think they check temperatures like they should, to know that the next 3 days is going to be 60.
Yeah. Sucks.
It does.
Well, let's talk about something else that sucks. It sucks mood. Can you say and spell your name and say Brick TV has permission to use this footage?
Sure. My name is Karen, Karen, Blondell, Blondel, and I give Brick TV permission to use this interview.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's very nice of you. Where's my zebra button? Zebra. Okay, good. So maybe say what your position is at the Fifth Avenue Committee and talk about, just generally a little bit about gentrification.
Okay, so I'm an environmental justice organizer here at the Fifth Avenue Committee, and I organize around environmental injustices that are concentrated in areas where public housing is, and that being this area over here in Gowanus, near the Gowanus Canal. And the Gowanus Canal is a Superfund cleanup site. There's also some rezoning going on in this area, and that brings about issues for the people who are native to this community. Number one, it throws them off because they're mom and pop stores, the smallest stores and relationships that they've.
Oh, try to look at me instead of the camera.
Sorry.
So, yeah, so let's try and because I'll probably not use the environmental side of it. I'll probably just use that you work for the Fifth Avenue Committee and that you see the gentrification.
Okay.
Just 'cause I gotta chop it down to a thing, so I gotta
Okay.
keep it focused. But but you're starting right in the thing with the mom and pop stores and all that.
Okay, yeah. So part of what's happening in South Brooklyn is a lot of the smaller stores that we all rely on in this community are being priced out because of luxury rentals and properties that are going up in the area. And that's a problem for this community because we're longstanding residents and we kind of got acclimated to the services in the area. And now, one of the things we lost recently was Pathmark. And I remember being a part of that store or using it as a regular place to grocery shop because of the pricing and, the inspection on the meats. I went there since the 80s. So with them closing the store, that put a stress on my diet. Number one, I can't quite afford, even though I'm working, to pay for foods at Whole Foods on a regular basis or even Fairway. And so it's like a tale of two cities. Either I have to buy less from one of the more expensive stores, or I have to eat a lower quality of food from one of the stores that are still existing. And that's a problem. Half of the time that I buy the food, it's actually spoiled. And that bothers me a lot because I don't have the money to just throw away. And here I am in the store, and they're trying to pay the rent to stay in the neighborhood. So things that they probably would have threw away a day earlier are still are still being sold. And that's an issue. The other issue is finding a place to even cash a check. Not everybody has bank accounts in public housing for various reasons, including there was a lot of bank fraud going on at one point in the city. And we're not as trusting of a lot of the institutions because we don't understand all the time these huge overdraft fees and just how to navigate from paycheck to paycheck. So a lot of times we'll rely on a check cash in place, a prepaid card to, if we want to access shopping through the internet. And again, it's very difficult to find stores or check cash in places in the area that so that we can do business. Those who don't have bank accounts and things like that.
Cool. I'm picking up the tissue a little bit. I don't know if you could pop that down.
Oh, you hear it?
Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt. I just wanted to let you know, Steve, that Ms. Hughes and Ed Tyree are in the lobby now. So I don't know if you want to try and grab one of them for an interview before and continue with Karen after.
You could kick me out.
Oh yeah, do you mind?
I don't care.
Did you
I got thrown out of better
Sabine
places.
did already, yeah, so.
Oh,
Look, you
cool.
heard me? I
Okay.
got thrown out of